Hello, welcome to the art history discussion regarding George Washington. That's the title of the artwork by the artist Jean-Antoine Houdon. This piece by Houdon is of a very familiar figure to any American and a very beloved figure too to all Americans in the United States. This is George Washington. It is the historical period is the Revolutionary period, and the materials and technique, this is carved marble. The intended purpose of this piece was actually created after the Revolution. It was sculpted to be displayed in Richmond, Virginia. The idea was that by sculpting it, they could create this likeness and help kind of put this George Washington into the world or into the government as this important figure, so that immediately after the American Revolution ended, they had a figure they could look up to who wasn't the king from the prior government. So here, George Washington is on display. He is standing in that very familiar contrapposto relaxed pose. And we can also this kind of reminds us of some older sculptures from ancient Rome, where we see other really important political figures who are sculpted in marble and have a similar pose. In addition to kind of emulating this Roman type of sculpture, which goes even back further to Greek sculpture, we are now looking at a few elements that are added to this. For example, behind him is actually a plow, kind of signifying that George Washington is a man of the people, and that he's a farmer, and that he understands the people in the newly formed government in the United States. Not only that, but he has next to him a sword, and this sword really shows to him, demonstrates that he too fought in the Revolution and helped win the freedom that we still have to this day in our current government. In addition to that, we have a column here and a few other items with important significance to the founding of the new government here in the newly formed government after the Revolution. So this piece is definitely a propaganda piece, and you can add that into your intended purpose, because this piece was really meant to make George Washington a figure to be respected and looked up to by the American people. And he surely has been after all this time. The patron of this was the governor of Virginia. Let me see if I can find it. There he is. Or Benjamin Harrison V. And he asked Thomas Jefferson, actually, to use his connections in France to find an experienced artist to do this piece. It should be noted that in the early days of the American Revolution, there weren't really any well-known classical sculptors. And so by taking Houdon, his work, and looking at it and going, okay, that's what we want to see for going forward, is works of classical sculpture to make our heroes immortal. going forward in this new government. So here we have this really iconic sculpture of George Washington, and it's still something that you can go and see in Virginia. So hopefully you learned something today, and thank you for listening.